Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Simp to Pimp podcast. I am your host, Max, and this is the 15th transmission. Today, I'm going to try to shake things up a little bit, try to embark in a new direction, sort of enlighten souls that may have heard too much of the same rhetoric already. I am talking about abandoning the quote section, at least for the time being, on this episode. I'm probably going to bring it back in the next episode, because I have plenty of quotes, my friends. Ha ha ha. But I was recently asked a very interesting question outside of the podcast realm, and I figured I need to address it publicly to my audience. This question came from a dearest of friends. His name shall be anonymous, but I will tell you that it starts with an M. He said, "Max, what are the three top pillars that distinguish people from simps to pimps? What is the difference? How can you really tell who's a simp and who's a pimp when the going gets tough and the gears start turning?" I obviously snapped into sicko mode and answered the question immediately, but I figured I would dissect it here for you guys. I have three simple identifiable traits that you can ask yourself, and if you pass, you are on your way to a very enlightened pimphood. But if you can't get through a single one of these tests, single one of these answers, single one of these pillars, you are the simpiest of simps I've ever seen. And God help you, man, because I know I'm trying. Now, the first, in my opinion, is your posture. How you go out in society and how you frame yourself. How you own your own aura in the social hierarchy and the social standards of the world. If you have a nice posture, if you're standing up straight, confident, looking above, looking in the sky, looking in eyes, owning your area, then you have passed the first test. If you are leaning over, trying to whisper in girls' ears, trying to compromise your figure and the way that you approach and talk to women and collect bitches, you are not sufficient, and you are not doing it the most appropriate way, and it destroys you. It destroys many people by just compromising in the physical aura already. The physicality of what you are doing, very noticeable, very big tell, very obvious, even from a distance perspective standpoint. Just looking at the body language between two fully formed adults and who is talking and who isn't, and who is smiling, who isn't, who's leaning in, who isn't. You tell a lot about a relationship that way. Now, another important test you need to pass in order to fulfill your destiny as a pimp is the idea of not trying too hard, not appearing desperate in times of such indignation and philosophical dread. You need to be a stand-up man and not a desperate person. There's this one quote that was brought to light to me that I was just reminded of. It goes along the lines of, A wise man is never in a hurry or desperate to do something. If you appear desperate, you're not controlling all your facilities and you're not in control of your own destiny. By appearing desperate, appearing so pathetic to these other spiritual beings. You need to be in control in your zone and be comfortable by yourself and not desperate. Trying too hard is the wrong word. It's a desperation, really. It's a specific route of being so needy. You appear needy, which falls right into my third point, my third pillar, which is be able to operate by yourself without dilapidating and falling down the rabbit holes of consuming so much media, consuming so much alcohol, consuming so much drugs, consuming and passing time in other ways. You need to be able to sit in isolation or sit by yourself and control this madhouse that is your mind. Be able to fluidly walk with yourself at all times and be able to step away at all times. Prepare yourself in this way. You can do this by controlling your own environment. That is the main takeaway of part 3. Pillar 3. You need to be able to control your actions and recognize when you need to control your actions. There's habits such as reading, meditating, taking a break, working out. These are all functionally obligated parts of your psyche that you need to be taking care of, whether it's your mind, your body, your soul. You need to be operating at this frequency and understanding your life in this way without having to be so desperate to socialize with an undesirable or somebody that may distract you from your life. Alcohol is fine for socializing, but you don't need to be socializing all the time. Drugs are fine to introspectively look at yourself, but you don't need to stay in one realm for months at a time, years at a time, even days at a time. Unless you need to be deeply searching in this realm. And, there's plenty of other habits. You don't need to be sucked into somebody else's reality via social media, via these different types, because they don't have your best interest in mind at all times or ever. They really never do have your best interest in mind. If there's still questions you don't like or you still feel bothered about, please reach out to me on my Instagram, on my Twitter, _ it is Simp to Pimp Pod on Instagram and at Simp to Pimp 1. No spaces, no caps, 'cause ain't no cap in here, boy. Thank you and good luck in the future.